Hi, my name is Lorenzo, a PhD student from UST, and this is my story about almost a decade in South Korea. I was born and raised in Manila, Philippines in 1992, a country of more than 7,000 beautiful islands. Then in 2010, I moved to South Korea as an exchange student, took my master's, worked as a software engineer, and now a PhD student in UST. I graduated my Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science in La Consolacion College, Manila. Then, I did my Master's of Computer Engineering in Hamburg National University. Right now, I'm a PhD student of ICT in the University of Science and Technology at Sri School. The first time I came to Korea was in 2010. I still haven't graduated college, and I was selected by our school as an exchange student in Hamburg National University in Daejeon. So that was the first time I came into Korea, and I was staying here for like 2 semesters, almost a year. During the second semester, I actually met my professor, and that professor gave me the opportunity to come back to Korea. So after I graduated for my bachelor's, so I was doing bachelor's in computer science back then, and my professor in Hamburg University during my exchange student program convinced me to come back and go to his lab and continue doing my master's. So right after I graduated, I came to Korea again, and it took me 2 years to finish my master's degree program. So I graduated in 2014, and after graduation, so I thought maybe I can work in Korea. So I did try to work for 2 years. So also in Daejeon, like you can see, I really like Daejeon. After working in the company, that's the time I became interested with UST. So why exactly UST? UST was my chosen university. So during that time when I was thinking maybe I should try to come back to school and then finish my continue my studies and do a PhD, I was considering 3 universities. Well, first is to go back to Hamburg National University, second is to go to KAIST, and third is go to UST. So the first one is in Hamburg University. Why Hamburg? Well, because it's the one that I think is kind of like my home before, but it's more of something that I can feel that I'll be able to, like, maybe there's no adjustment period anymore if I do go to Hamburg. And then KAIST. KAIST is probably one of the most famous universities for engineering in Korea. Like everyone knows that if you're from KAIST, then like, whoa, you're from KAIST. And then the last one, UST. Actually, like most people don't really know about UST. In my case, I didn't even know that existed. So, but then when one of my friends, like in Hamburg, they got admitted to UST, like they recommended it to me, and then I realized that it's probably the best option that I can get. And during that time, like I found out that UST had this affiliation with E3. So back in my master's, I've always been kind of like dreaming that maybe I could work in E3, because like during that time they were developing the Genie Talk application, and it's one of the best language speech-to-speech language translation during that time. So like I was really like I really need to work there. I want to be part of that team. And so when I found out that there is the E3 campus in UST, then I should really apply to this school. and that's what I did. But then, sadly, it didn't really work out. It's the first time I applied. I actually failed. And then, never say never. So I did my second application. Hurrah! Actually, I actually got into USD. So that's basically the history as to how I managed to study in USD right now. So isn't it like, I guess it's more of like a mix of luck, perseverance, and maybe also your skills, because like you probably cannot go to this universities if you're not good enough, right? So I'll say those are like a few things that you should have. You have to be creative on how you can like mold up your future and stuff like that. And it's never just about the wits. It's also about how persevering you are, and how creative you can be, and yeah. So that's basically the story as how I got in. You may ask, like, is it hard to get into USD? Well, it's getting harder. Why? Because more people are getting interested with it. We have really good benefits, and like the projects are actually paying not just our salaries, but also like the expenses we do for our projects or our research. So most people are getting interested right now. So apart from that, one of the benefits in USD is that we can actually go to affiliated universities such as in KAIST or Seoul National University, even Hambat National University and Chungnam University in Daejeon are affiliated. So if you don't want like classes that are just offered within your institute, you can always apply there. And the good thing is that we have this 70% like 70% of working in our projects in the laboratories, and then the 30% which you can basically use on your study time. So regardless if you're still in the first year or second year, or even you're in the final year of your PhD or master's, you can actually go and enroll in the classes that you are interested in. And for foreigners, you think that maybe staying in Korea is kind of hard because you have to learn Korean. Well, it is actually, it is hard if you don't learn how to speak Korean. So the good thing in USC is that if you actually applied for the first, like in your first semester, actually before your first semester, there's gonna be the Odyssey program. So it's kind of a bit different with Koreans and with the foreigners, because for the foreigners, they actually have like for the whole month they have to study Korean, and then they have to learn the like conversational skills for them to survive in Korea, which is pretty good. Like as I've told you before, like I've been here for almost 9 years, and I actually didn't have like good formal education with Korean prior to going to USD. Why? Because at first, like, I was thinking, maybe if I just keep myself within the school, then I don't really have to use Korean, right? So my my grammar skills in Korean is not really that great. But then once you learn from USD, because they're giving all these resources and the classes for free, then you're gonna learn it. And now, like in our lab, like we don't really use English at all. Like, I'm a foreigner, but we use Korean all throughout. That's kind of like a good thing. But don't worry, like in other case, like most cases, mine is basically one of the rarer ones wherein they don't really use English with me when communicating with me. But for most foreigners, yeah, most of your professors probably gonna talk to you in English because it's also like a good opportunity for them to practice their English and become more globalized. So most people say that Daejeon is like a boring city. Well, it becomes boring if you make it boring, right? So in my opinion, you should have like a hobby that you should develop while you are staying in, for example, like Daejeon. So in my case, I really like to swim. So I go for swimming almost every day. It's basically my major form of exercise. And then for socializing, you can have like you can join like different organizations within USC and the institute of which you are working with. So I actually joined a volunteering organization in USC wherein we help do some volunteering stuff like going to like walking dogs or like helping in festivals. So like a few years ago we were doing those kinds of volunteering activities. And then for like if you're interested with sports, like there are some organizations like clubs within your institute that you can join. So you can have these activities every time. So for example, I joined this bowling club in Etri. So we usually do a game or two every week, and it's kind of enjoyable because you get to hang out with like people from your institute. On the weekends, I can basically recommend you to try and enjoy different kinds of foods, try out some sports, or join different festivals in Daejeon. So basically, if you want, you can actually just go travel around like on the weekends, because you can really just keep yourself within Daejeon. So there are like a few places that you should visit in Korea. So like maybe go to Busan, enjoy the beach during the summer, and go to Jeonju, where you can experience the old-fashioned like Korean villages. And that place is also famous for their food. Their food is amazing. And go to Seoul or go to Gangwon-do for ski, or even just go to Muju, which is kind of near Daejeon, and you can enjoy well. Or you can actually go to go to Japan. Sorry, but Japan is kind of near, and you can also go to China or Hong Kong, Macau, or the Philippines, and you can enjoy your life. Basically, that is one of the good ones that you can try. Having to able to spend 1/3 of my life in Korea makes me feel like Korean is already my second home. And I hope that even if you spend just a little time in Korea, you'll feel the same way as well. Again, this is Lorenzo, and thank you for watching. Goodbye!